Welcome to Epic Geek Out, the only show on the internet where Pixar is still trying to find Nemo. I'm your host, Rob.
And I'm your host, Chad, and today we are doing a little recap week. We missed some things over the past couple weeks, so we're touching on those this week. Today we're talking about the new Pixar film, Brave.
Basically, if we had to see a movie that was a cartoon, we decided over Ice Age, we decided to go see Brave, which the theater was still packed. But then on Thursday, we're going to be reviewing Charlie Sheen's new show, Anger Management.
Cool. As always, you can check us out on Twitter at Epic Geek Out. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll get all the new episodes when they come out every Tuesday and Thursday. You
could like us on Facebook. You could send, did you say email?
Nope.
Email at fans@epicgeekout. Nope, that's Twitter.
That's right.
Is it right? Fans@epicgeekout.com. There you go.
You can also check out our website, www.epicgeekout.com. So let's get into Brave.
So today we will be reviewing Brave, which is Pixar's new movie for the summer. I mean, they come out with one pretty much every summer. Stars the voices of Kelly MacDonald, Billy Connolly, Emma Thompson, and it's basically the story of a girl who is princess in this sort of clan-like Scottish world. I might be saying the wrong ethnicity, but basically it's come to the point in her life where she's supposed to be married off to someone of another clan, and she disagrees completely with the idea of this, and she's pretty tomboy-esque, and loves just the days where she gets to go riding on her horse and shoot arrows and stuff like that. So that's like, I'd say, the first third of the movie. I don't know if we want to talk about the last like half to 2/3 of the movie, because it's really not touched on with the marketing efforts for it, which I thought was a great twist. It was something new for it. So, I mean, maybe we can talk about it later, but give people warning. So, Chad, what did you think of the movie?
Well, I'm a Pixar fan. I love majority of them. I'd say there's only like one or two that aren't really my favorites, but I still like them. So I was excited to see it, especially after the release of it. It got a lot of positive press and reviews, so I was excited about that. So I think that kind of ruined a little bit for me. Like, I wasn't as excited after walking out of it as I thought I was going to be, just because I think it was built up a lot, as is always the case. But still, solid movie. It's Pixar. It's got that polish on it. They amazingly can create characters that you can identify with, and completely just strong characters in an animated movie, which is unheard of. I mean,
and I think the best thing they can do is characters that don't even speak.
Right.
Can be some of the strongest characters in their movies.
Well, just every angle of it is characters that they're telling a story that's unique and original, and they've had stronger characters as computer animated ones than live action movies we've seen lately. So that's awesome. Like I said, it's Pixar, so it's really good. As far as the twist in it, I think for me, I appreciated that I didn't know what was going to happen until it happened, but I think maybe. I know it's doing pretty well at the box office, but I think it could have even had that extra little push and appeal to a lot of the kids out there if the real story was marketed a little bit, because there's some humor in there that I think is lost in the trailers, that I think would appeal to kids a lot more than the current trailers do. But that being said, I think there was a lot of funny moments, a lot of touching moments. It was a story about a mother and daughter at the root of it, and I think that that's lost on us a little bit.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But it definitely has heart. It has every ingredient of a good Pixar movie. So I mean, it was good. It was Pixar. The animation that they did for the hair, not just on the lead character, but throughout other different characters throughout, was amazing. I don't know how they freaking do it. It's crazy, but it was awesome. I mean, that part was cool. So
yeah, I mean, this is a Pixar movie. And I mean, there hasn't been many that I've been like, oh man, I spent money going to see that.
Right.
I mean, is it the best Pixar movie? No, but it has that magic in it that transcends the medium in which they're presenting their films on. It is a cartoon, but it doesn't feel like a cartoon unless you're watching it and for some reason you hate seeing cartoons or something like that. The characters are robust. All of them. I felt that this kind of had a smattering of some like her horse, the king's two dogs, which could have in a normal Pixar movie been more developed and things like that. But again, they weren't talking animals, so maybe that's where it got lost from that. But it it really is just they know how to create movies with heart and story at the center of them, and don't just do throwaway jokes for the hell of it. I mean, their jokes have meaning behind it. Their characters have meaning behind it, and I think that's really what's great about this. Excuse me. I didn't know the story going into this. I didn't think that the twist was as good as I thought it was going to be, with everyone saying how, how it takes place. It kind of reminded me like a little Shrek-y, kind of like something that Shrek might do.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to give much away.
It was more Disney than any of the other Pixar movies, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. We didn't see it in 3D, but I've heard 3D is pretty amazing. We just saw it in normal 2D. It was beautiful. I mean, the detail of her hair is just something incredible. I mean, like, some of her hair was like straight, others were like curled in one way, and it just how long a video that we do takes to render? How long would that crap take to render?
A year.
There was a fishing scene with trout and water. I thought that was like a really beautiful rendition, because water is really hard to capture what it really looks like. Some of it was contrived, I will say that. Some lines were just so
corny,
classically cheesy, like that I think they could have did something a little better with it without making it so cheesy. But again, I just go back to the fact that this is a Pixar movie. I think they should be viewed by everyone, because you're going to take something from it, and you're just going to enjoy the experience. I mean, so yeah, I mean, I would recommend it definitely to go see.
Yeah, it's Pixar through and through. I mean, it's it's good. And do we want to do like a spoiler now, because it has been a couple weeks.
Yes.
Since it's been out, but so spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the whole story eventually evolves into, as you know if you're watching this now, the mom turning into a bear and
randomly finds a witch, which spell goes somewhat wrong, but the witch wasn't really bad. Tried to warn her, but she just kind of was flighty.
I thought that was interesting how they didn't make her evil necessarily, because in the end she did learn a lesson, so it was kind of like...
Also kind of didn't make the bad guy evil in the end, when like the spirit came out.
Yeah.
And he just was like kind of like gave him a head nod, like thanks, like he didn't know what he was doing, like the bear took over from him and he was happy to be released. But go ahead, talk more about this.
Well, I was just what I was saying earlier about the marketing. I think if they marketed it as the talking bear with the relationship with the girl, you don't even necessarily have to say that's the mom, in the marketing, but there was a lot of funny moments in that I think,
because the bear couldn't speak, and that's what I was hitting on before, is that there are animals in this. Like, I think her relationship with her horse was pretty cool.
I think the kids too.
And the kids, so they did a lot with mute characters, especially the mom and daughter trying to communicate when she was turned into a bear.
Right. I thought it was actually going to end with them all being bears, and that's how they were going to be happy.
I thought it was actually going to end with the kids still as bears, and
then the dad took the...
accepted them, even though he hated them, which could have been a metaphor for things. But I mean,
that could have been.
But like, weren't you expecting more? Like, a lot of people we saw reviews of it was like, "Oh, this came out of the blue, and this happened."
It did, but it wasn't as like crazy.
And they also didn't like travel outside of their kingdom. Like, it was them in the forest, so it just didn't.
I thought it was gonna be more like a journey movie of her like on this journey somewhere for something, because it was talking about her destiny, and like her destiny wasn't really anything.
Yeah, because she kind of got the way she wanted.
It wasn't really a destiny, it was more like a lesson that she learned to grow up, and it wasn't like she was meant for something different, because in the end she was the same as the beginning. She just didn't marry anyone.
And one thing that bothered me was like the Stonehenge thing.
Yeah,
like they keep going back to this one area that's supposed to be this like mystical place, but they didn't give you any history on why this place mattered, or why the willow things would come eventually to that place. So it always ended up back there.
Yeah, and there was no tie-in to anything.
It didn't have anything to do. I think what would have really sold this movie, and I mean, again, I liked it, enjoyed it, definitely would recommend seeing it, but it didn't hit anywhere close to that Toy Story 3 level for me, or have that Pixar magic, is like kind of like in Harry Potter when they did that Deathly Hallows, explained it, like more of that ancient...
a legend backstory.
The legend backstory that was in it. Like, there were these three or four brothers, and the one was the oldest, wanted to take over the whole realm, things like that. And they just kind of... And like, I think the whole tapestry thing and the slate, it was too perfectly fit
Right.
in the whole scenario of
And the fact
movie.
that was how you fixed it was kind of contrived too. It's like, what if they just sewed that back up and they didn't really?
Was it that, or was it actually that they
Yeah.
did fix everything?
I don't
at the
know,
end?
because the end of it, they showed the sun hitting the part that was mended, and then that's when she would. So it could
And
go
then
either
just
way.
briefly, I mean, so that's like pretty much our review. It was the precursor to it was a short film called La Luna.
Yeah, very
which
cool.
I thought was just, again, beautiful, no
I love the
talking,
shorts.
and just gorgeous. Shows what animation can really be. So I'd say check out Brave in theaters just so you get the experience of seeing La Luna also on the big screen.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the price for admission. So it's that time of the episode where we like to give our thanks for the day. So Chad, what are you thankful for today?
I'm going to throw in a little movie, not little, well, big movie actually.
Big movie.
that I caught on television the other day on HBO that I love. I know you love it as well. And
great.
Ironically, it sort of has a similar message to it as the movie that we just reviewed. Big Fish, which is a Tim Burton movie starring Ewan McGregor, Albert Finney, other peoples. Great movie. It talks about the relationship of a parent and a child, and also goes through mystical elements. So that's why it kind of ties into Brave a little bit.
Yeah.
A little tiny bit. But
The way
it's
they
just-
do it, though, is so good.
It's great.
So
and
good.
it has a lot of heart to it, and I can rewatch it. I still get choked up at the end. It's an awesome movie. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix, but it's definitely on HBO right now, so it's probably on demand.
Absolutely fantastic movie.
Great movie.
Definitely agree with that.
Awesome.
But my thanks for the day is this BBC show that I checked actually through Netflix. Enjoyed the hell out of it. Still, I got through the whole first season, which again is only like 6 episodes. But then I still have a couple left to actually finish out the series as a whole. Excited to finish watching. It's called Luther. It stars Idris Elba, and I don't think really anyone else that we know as Americans, but maybe some famous Brits on it. It's just great TV. He's a cop that gets things done in kind of a way that other cops, I don't know, he just gets things done. The way he goes about doing it is awesome. He's definitely a volatile character, but he's played brilliantly. There you go. And I'm excited to start seeing him in other movies. He was in Prometheus. He's going to be in Pacific Rim. Just a great actor.
I think he's going to be back in Thor too.
Yeah, and have a larger role in that. So I definitely say check it out. It's some of his earlier work I don't know, I think he went back and did it recently, but whatever. It's a good show, so definitely check it out.
Cool, so that's it for this episode of Epic Geek Up, but we'll be back on Thursday with a brand new episode. We're going to be talking about anger management, Charlie Sheen's new television show on FX. But until then, have a great day.